Okay, we want to talk this last little bit about the difference between do, re, and mi, fa, and do, mi, and mi, sol. You'll notice, by the way, just as an aside, I don't pronounce the L. We just don't do that. Okay. So do, re is C to D, and mi, fa is E to F. And I want to check the distances between those. Let's go down to the piano here. Do, re. You see it's got this extra key there? So it's 2 half steps. And 2 halves is a whole step. So this here is a whole step. And we call that, sorry, I'm trying to balance 2. Whole step is what we call a major second. It's a second because the notes are 1, 2. That's where we get the 2 from. But a major second is a second that has 2 half steps in it, or a whole step. Let's check out mi, fa. So here we have mi, fa. There is no key between them. There's only 1 half step. It's still a second because 1, 2, just like 1, 2. But when we count, it's only got 1 of those in there. And so we call that that's just kind of theory, but we need it for, call it a minor second. It's a second, 2 adjacent notes on the keyboard and the white key note names, but only a half step between them. And that makes a big difference in sound. Okay? For instance, if I go that's a whole step. But if I go a half step, when I play them together or harmonically, here's a whole step. Sounds like car horns, right? But when I play a half step together, again, different. We want to recognize 2 things. One, or recognize that between do and re is a whole step or a major second, and mi, fa is a minor second because it's a second, 2 notes that are beside each other. It's only got 1 half step between them. That's the first thing. And then we also want to learn how to hear those. And we'll be doing this in another video in just a minute where we go over to Tone Savvy and set up those, I guess, ear training or dictation type exercises. Now I just want to do the same thing here for do, mi, and mi, sol. So this would be do, mi, right? That would be a C, and that would be an E. Now, this is a third, because when we look here, there's my do, and there's my mi, 1, 2, 3, right? C, D, E, 1, 2, 3. Well, let's count how many half steps. So 1, 2, 3, 4 half steps to get from the first note to the next one. You have to travel through, like 4, I don't know, like ticket booths or something like that on a toll highway. And when we have 4 half steps, we call that a major third, okay? And that's, but when we go from mi to sol, right? Mi to sol, that's E to G, okay? And if we count them, still a third, E, F, G, right? E, F, G, 1, 2, 3. But because there's no black key between here, we go 1, 2, 3 half steps. By the way, that's the Zelda. I got something out of the treasure chest, right? Going up each one of those. So we call that a minor third, and it sounds very different. If we place them side by side, starting like these distances, but just on the first note, here's do and mi. 4 half steps is a major third, right? And if we take it to 3 half steps, 1, 2, 3, minor third, okay? So you have a new, duet to work on, and you're working on your hand signals, which is, it's going to be, just the arpeggiation workshop, and continue to work on your melodies. But we're going to go over to Tone Savvy and set up a dictation quiz or ear training test that will help us learn to hear and differentiate these two things. And I'll do that in a screen video.